All right, buckle up, everybody, because today we're diving headfirst into one of the most bizarre incidents from the Cold War.
Oh, this is a good one.
Think 1982. U.S. and the Soviet Union are at each other's throats. Nuclear war feels like a very real possibility.
A time of constant tension. I remember it well.
Well, that's where our story takes place.
And it all revolves around, those weapons that could end the world in a flash.
ICBMs.
Exactly. Intercontinental ballistic missiles, the ultimate deterrent.
Right, those massive rockets designed to deliver nuclear payloads across the globe. Not exactly the kind of thing you want pointed at you.
No, not at all. For the Soviets, these ICBMs were absolutely crucial. It was all about maintaining that strategic balance with the United States, projecting power, keeping the other side on edge.
Okay, so picture this. A top-secret Soviet military base packed with these ICBMs on high alert 247. It's October 4th, 1982, and things are about to get really weird.
Multiple witnesses at the base. And keep in mind, these are trained military personnel. They report seeing a UFO.
A UFO, like an actual flying saucer.
That's what they described, a disc-shaped object with these pulsating lights moving in ways that seemed impossible, completely defying the laws of physics.
Okay, now I gotta admit, that's pretty intriguing. But it gets even crazier. Just a week later, on October 11th, something truly unthinkable happens. The entire ICBM system at that base goes offline.
And we're not talking about a minor malfunction here.
What, like someone tripped over a wire or something?
No, this was a complete shutdown. The launch sequence, the guidance systems, everything was totally disabled. Just like that, those ICBMs were rendered useless.
Hold on, so you're saying that just days after this UFO sighting, the Soviets' most powerful weapons just stopped working?
Quite a coincidence, isn't it?
It's coincidence. That's putting it mildly. And to make things even stranger, you mentioned eyewitness accounts from the night of the shutdown.
Yes, some personnel reported seeing the same disc-shaped UFO hovering near the base.
Wait, are we actually entertaining the idea that aliens might have disabled these nuclear weapons?
There were even reports of beams of light emanating from the UFO, directed towards the ICBM silos.
This sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It was a very real event with very real consequences. Can you imagine the panic this must have caused within the Soviet military?
To have your most powerful weapons, the very things that were supposed to guarantee your security, suddenly neutralized by an unknown force.
It had to be absolutely unnerving. The implications were massive. You see, the concept of nuclear deterrence, that idea that these weapons are too terrifying to actually use, is based on the assumption that they would always be ready to launch. But what if that assumption was wrong? What if some unknown entity could just disable them at will?
That's a chilling thought.
This incident sent shockwaves throughout the global intelligence community. If it could happen to the Soviets, it could happen to anyone.
It makes you question everything, doesn't it?
And it really forced everyone to take a step back and reevaluate. I mean, think about it. This was the height of the Cold War, right? The world was holding its breath, waiting to see what would happen next. And then this incident throws everything into chaos.
So how do we even begin to make sense of this? Was it some super secret weapon developed by, say, the U.S.? A technological marvel so advanced it seemed almost magical?
Well, that was certainly one of the theories at the time. A lot of people thought it had to be some kind of advanced sabotage, a way to neutralize the Soviet threat without firing a shot.
Like a technological arms race taken to the extreme. Makes sense. But then there's the other explanation. The one that's a bit more, well, out there.
You mean the extraterrestrial hypothesis?
Yeah, aliens. I knew we'd get there eventually. But seriously, the possibility that an alien civilization, far more advanced than our own, might be monitoring our nuclear capabilities or even intervening to prevent a global catastrophe. It's a bit mind-blowing, right?
There's certainly a long history of speculation linking UFO sightings to nuclear weapons, going all the way back to the first atomic bomb tests. And this incident, with its mysterious shutdown of an entire ICBM system, well, it just adds another layer to that whole debate.
And it raises some really big questions, doesn't it? Like if a UFO could potentially disable ICBMs back in '82, what does that say about our understanding of technology, about the kinds of threats we might be facing out there?
It's a humbling realization, to say the least. It forces us to consider that we might not be alone in the universe, and that some of those others might possess technology far beyond anything we can even imagine.
So where does that leave us? We've got two wildly different explanations, each more extraordinary than the last. On one hand, you have top-secret operations, cutting-edge technology, cloak-and-dagger espionage. And on the other hand, you have aliens. It's like something straight out of a science fiction novel.
And the frustrating thing is we still don't have any definitive answers. The Soviet government, as you might imagine, kept a very tight lid on the whole thing.
Right. Typical Cold War secrecy.
Exactly. There have been rumors and leaked documents, but nothing concrete enough to settle the debate.
So the mystery endures. Decades later, we're still left wondering what really happened that night.
But it's more than just a cold case, isn't it? This incident, whether it was a technological marvel or an extraterrestrial encounter, it challenged our assumptions about security, about technology, about the very nature of reality. It showed us that even our most advanced creations are vulnerable, and that there are forces at play in the universe that we might not fully understand.
A chilling thought, but also incredibly fascinating. It reminds us that there's still so much we don't know, so much left to discover.
This wasn't just about a temporary shutdown of a weapons system. It was a profound event that had repercussions that extended far beyond that one incident.
Absolutely. This wasn't just some isolated event that happened in a remote corner of the Soviet Union. It sent ripples of concern throughout the entire world. I mean, imagine being a military strategist or a world leader at that time. You've built your entire defense strategy around these weapons, these ICBMs, and suddenly you have to question whether they're actually reliable.
The whole idea of nuclear deterrence, the concept that had kept the world from descending into chaos, it all started to look a lot less certain.
Because if some unknown force, be it a rival nation with super advanced technology or, well, aliens, could disable these weapons at will, then what did that mean for the balance of power? What did that mean for the future of warfare?
This incident threw everyone for a loop. It forced them to reevaluate their assumptions and consider the possibility that the threats they faced might be far more complex and unpredictable than they'd ever imagined.
It was a wake-up call. It showed us that even in an age of advanced technology, a supposedly impenetrable security, there were still vulnerabilities we hadn't even considered.
And it underscored the need to adapt, to think outside the box, to be prepared for the unexpected.
Because in a world where the impossible suddenly becomes possible, where the unthinkable can actually happen, well, you need to be ready for anything.
And I think that's one of the most important lessons we can take away from this incident. The need for humility, for adaptability, for a willingness to question everything we thought we knew.
Because the world is full of mysteries, and sometimes those mysteries can shake us to our very core.
It's a reminder that we're not always in control, that there are things out there, forces we might not even comprehend.
It's almost like this incident, as unsettling as it was, it opened up a whole new way of looking at the world.
Exactly. It forced us to confront the unknown, to accept that there might be things out there beyond our understanding.
And maybe that's not such a bad thing.
Not at all. It's what drives us to explore, to ask questions, to push the boundaries of what we think is possible.
It's like a spark that ignites our curiosity.
Absolutely. It reminds us that there's still so much out there to discover, so many mysteries waiting to be unraveled.
And who knows? Maybe in searching for those answers, we'll uncover something even more incredible.
Maybe we'll find something that completely changes our understanding of, well, everything.
As we wrap up our deep dive into the Soviet ICBM UFO shutdown, I keep coming back to one question. What if this wasn't just an isolated incident?
Now you're getting to the heart of it. What if this was just the tip of the iceberg?
Exactly. What if there are other events, other encounters, other mysteries hidden away in government archives or, tucked away in some forgotten file?
It's a tantalizing thought, isn't it? The idea that the world might be even stranger and more wondrous than we could ever imagine.
And that maybe, just maybe, the truth is out there waiting to be discovered. So to everyone listening, keep exploring, keep questioning, keep that sense of wonder alive. You never know what you might find.
And remember, the journey is just as important as the destination. Keep diving deep, my friends, and never stop questioning the world around you.